right, so now we're going to get really into the meat of the website, and we're going to talk about how to edit the content on pages. So we're going to edit the home page, and just a reminder, I'm switching tabs to the front end of the website. This is the home page, and I'm going to walk you through what this looks like on the back end and how to start editing some of this content. So in the back end of my WordPress website, I'm going to hover over pages, and you can just click on that. And then I'll see the list of all the pages, and we'll click on home because that's the one we're going to be editing. I'm going to get rid of this notice. Okay, so the main thing to know here is that we have built this page with Kadence Blocks. So literally building blocks that have created the page layout. You can find all of the blocks inside of this blue plus sign icon up here. So if I click on this, this opens all of my blocks, and I have Kadence blocks that are all in blue. And if I scroll down further, I have all of these black blocks, and those are the ones that are native to WordPress. These are called Gutenberg blocks. You can use these ones as well, but most of the content on the site is built using Kadence blocks, and that's because they have more features. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Something else to know is I'll exit out of this so we can expand our page back over. As you're scrolling through, pretty much it looks exactly like the front end of the website, but there may be a few exceptions and things may look a little wonky. So sometimes if you're building in the back end and it doesn't look exactly like it does on the front end, just make sure that you save your changes, refresh the front end of the website, and this is what it actually looks like. Okay, so back into my back end. I can simply click into anything, and I can click on this headline, for example, and I could just start backspacing and typing something else to make a new headline. I can select all of this copy right here, and then I could start writing my own paragraph or paste content that you already have into here. I can click on this button, and I can change what it says. So maybe we'll put about me. And then I can also, as I'm hovering over it, you see we have this little floating toolbar, and that gives me some more options to edit it. And right here, there's a little link icon, and I could go ahead and I'll type about because we have that page on the site. And then I'm going to click that, and that has made this button go to the about page. So that's how you can easily start adding your content. I can click on an image, and in this hover toolbar, I have replace. And then I'll just open my media library, and I can select something else to put right here. So I'll choose this image as an example, but you can also click upload files up here and adding your own image. And as I said before, you can use these photos in the media library as a reference for what size things should be. So I'll pop this picture into there, and obviously it's square, so it's going to look different because it's different dimensions. But that's how you can start replacing the content. Now, if you want to get really fancy with things, we're going to open up what is called the document overview. I call it the list view. So these 3 stair-step icons up here. When I click that, that opens up this list view of the page. And this allows you to see how the page is organized. So sometimes you're clicking around in here and you might get a little lost, or you think you're editing something and then you find out, oh, I'm not editing that, I'm editing something else. But this allows you to see all of the blocks and how they're organized on the page. So I've organized this into sections, and this is a section block. And then when I expand it, or this is a row layout block, excuse me. The top level here is a row layout block. And when I click on this blue icon, you see there's that row layout block, okay? Going back into my list view. As I expand it, I have 2 sections which are representing my columns. So I have the left column, and when I expand that, I have this image inside of here, which is right here on the page. When I expand the right column, you can see I have a couple of advanced text blocks for my heading and for my copy, and then I have the advanced button block as well. Now, importantly, over here on the right side of the page in this panel, we have what are called the block settings. So each block has its own unique settings. So as I click on this advanced text block, I have a general tab, where I can choose what HTML tag I want this to be. So I have it set to paragraph, but we could also set it to an H3. And then I have you can change the alignment as well. And you can also add a link here if you wanted to, and you can change link colors. So maybe I have a link inside of here. I'm just going to highlight this, and then I'm going to put a hashtag in here to make sort of a dummy link. And then we can style that link color right here. So I'm going to make that link color this bright red, and I'll make the hover link color be this pink color. So that's how I can start styling different things on my page to look different than how they are. That's only for people who want to do that. If you like the website as is, then you just start replacing your content with what's already here. But if you want to add new things, or you want to get really granular with it, and you want to make your own layouts or really edit the content, this is just showing you how that's possible with Kadence Blocks. Okay, so I also have the style tab, and this is going to allow me, so right now this paragraph text is inheriting my global base font color, which is that dark rust kind of red color. But I could make this paragraph be a completely different color, and so I'll make it bright red as an example, and you can see it's only affecting this paragraph. It's not affecting any other paragraphs on the page that are inheriting the global block styles. So these are actually examples of paragraph where I've overridden that global color, and I've set them to be the light tan color for the text. Okay, so scrolling back up here very quickly, I'll show you the advanced tab. For the most part, you're probably not going to need to use this, but you can add padding or margin, which is space around and in between things. And then there's this advanced tab where you can add additional CSS classes. And we will get into that next when I show you something on the About page in the section that I call This or That. So this is just an example of how you can start editing the content, and I'm going to press this little arrow to just kind of undo that change. And then I want to show you how to change the background. So the background is actually set on this row layout. So I'm going to select in my list view on the left this top level row layout here. And then in the block settings, I'm going to go to the Style tab, and this is where the background settings are. So I have the background color set to this tan color, and you can see that change when I select something different. And then I also have this background image in here. So I can click Edit Image, and I can upload, again, a different image. But as a reference point, here's that image in the media library, so you can see what dimensions it are, what dimensions it is, excuse me, when you go to replace your content. And I didn't mean to click edit that image, but if you needed to edit an image inside of WordPress, you can. Surprise. Okay, so anyway, that's that. And that's how you can change that background image. And then that's the main thing that you need to know. So if you wanted to, if you want to get rid of a block, you could just click, let's say we want to get rid of this section right here. And this is the home section 3, I believe. So I can click on these little 3 dots that are the options, and I can scroll down and I can delete this. And now that block is just gone from my page. There's also a handy undo button or redo button up here at the top. So if that was an accident and I want to undo it, I can put it back. And then I want to show you something called patterns. Now, I have turned every section on this page and on the other pages of the website into a pattern for you. So let's say something just happened and you accidentally deleted your whole hero section, and for some reason you're trying to undo it, but maybe you're too many steps ahead and you can't get it back. We can get it back still because it's in the patterns. So again, click this blue plus sign at the top, and you see we're in blocks, but right next to it we have patterns. And I have labeled them by the page that they're on. So if you scroll down to the home page right here, you can scroll through this list and it's showing you all of the sections that are available. So there's my hero section right there that I accidentally got rid of. I'm going to put that back on the page. Now, it by default inserted it second on the page, and we're going to move it back up. So I'm going to open my list view, and then here it is. I have my Home Hero section. I'm just going to click and hold and drag that back up to the top. Now you'll also notice, what is this weird purple cast over it? That's because it's a pattern. So before we start editing this content, we need to detach the pattern. To do that, we're just going to click on these three dots, and we're going to scroll down and select detach. And now I have just my regular row layout here again. So in case you delete something off the website or you kind of need to restart, you always have these patterns available for you. So you can view all of them at one time, or you can kind of go by, they're all inside of all or inside of my patterns, and then you can go by the page. So there's an about page, there's the blog page, there's a home page gallery. There's different keywords here to help you find what you're looking for. But anyway, anything that you delete on accident can be replaced. All right, so if I did want to add my own designs to this website, what I would do is I would click on the blue plus sign up here, and I would try to keep it organized. So I would start by adding a row layout, and by default, this is going to insert like right below the row that you were selected on previously. And then inside of my row layout, I can choose a single column, or I can choose from all these multi-column options. So I'm just going to throw in this 3-column right here. And then I'm going to click this icon, the settings icon, right next to that save button. And that's going to open my block settings. And now I have all these options of what I can do here. So I can go to the style tab, and we could make the background of this block be this dark red color. And then I'm going to click on this right here. Let's see. I want align, and we're going to make it a full width block, okay? And that way it's going to stretch all the way to the edges. Before, when it was set to none, you can see there's that little white border on the side. So I'm going to make this a full width block. Then I can click inside of each one of my columns, which are sections, and I can just start adding more blocks. So I'm going to use the advanced text block, and we'll put that as an H2 is fine, and I'll just write something in here, and then I'll go over to my style tab, and we'll change this to a lighter color so we can actually read what we have here. And now let's insert an image in here. You can also search. So I'm gonna always use the blue block, which is the Kadence block, and the reason is, I'll show you this as an example. Let's put the regular Gutenberg black image block in here. So you see over here in the block settings, I have like hardly any options. There's some aspect ratio, some width settings, and there's a little bit of styling stuff in here. So it's not terrible, but I'm going to pop the image block from Kadence, the blue one here, inside of this column. And you can see that I'm going to have way more options. So let me select an image so we can see it. Okay. So now that I've selected that image, I have a general tab, and see all the stuff in there. I have the style tab, lots of options here that I can do. I can even like mask this into a hexagon shape. So there's all sorts of really fun things that you can do. And I also have the advanced tab. So that's an example of a Gutenberg block versus a Kadence block, and why you should use the Kadence blocks when you can. All right, so next we're going to look at classes. I want to show you how to make the little circles appear on the About page, and then we're going to talk about widgets.